guys, so I'm back with another video, and this video is going to be a tag. And I know I did a tag a couple of videos ago, and I thought it was really cute and really fun, so I decided that I would do another one. So here is another book tag, and I found this one off of another booktuber's channel. I can't remember what their name was, so I'm gonna search for it and then I'm gonna put it in the description box below if you guys are interested in checking out their videos or checking out their answers to the questions for this tag. So this tag is called the This or That book tag, and I have my sheet with all the questions on here just in case you guys are wondering what the hell I'm looking at. I'm looking at the questions. So the first question is audio or book in hand. Now I've been reading a lot of audiobooks, well, not reading obviously, but I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks within the past 6 months or so, and they're pretty legit. You know, I didn't think that I would like listening to audiobooks. I kind of found it as like a cheap, or not a cheap, like a lazy kind of way to reading. Like if you're too lazy to read the book, then you listen to an audiobook. But they're actually pretty good. They're very descriptive, and you get a lot more emotion and description about a book or about whatever it is that you're reading by listening to an audiobook. Like you get a feel of it more as opposed to reading it. I prefer sometimes to listen to audiobooks because I get a lot of migraines, and sometimes I just want to close my eyes and listen to a book instead of sitting there and reading, because when I get my migraines, my eyes really hurt, so I kind of try not to do anything that involves me looking for long periods of time, like looking at the computer or reading. So I definitely like using an audiobook, but I'm old school and I like my books, so I would definitely prefer to have a book in hand instead of listening to an audiobook or reading from an e-reader. That's just me. Next question is softcover or hardback. I would prefer to buy hardback books. If I had all the money in the world, I would buy all of my books in hardback. But unfortunately, hardbacks are a lot more expensive, and I'm on a budget. I'm a broke college student, you know. I can't afford to buy hardback books all the time, but if I could, I would. So for the most part, I buy my books softcover, which it's really annoying. I don't like it as much because they get wrinkled, the spine gets bent, and I hate it, but I can afford it, and if I want to read a book right now, I'm going to buy it in softcover. If there are like certain series that I really like, or a certain book that I really like and I really want to have it as a hardback, then I'll buy it as a hardback, but it just depends on how much money I have. So I guess hardback. Fiction or nonfiction? Definitely fiction. I kind of see nonfiction as just like more adult-ish kind of books, and I am an adult, but I don't necessarily like reading adult kind of books. Some books I do, some books I don't, but for the most part I like reading fiction books instead. They're more interesting, they seem more fun, more action, just more interesting for me. Fantasy world or real life issues? Like I said, I like the fiction and the fantasy-ness of it. I like fantasy, you know, I love Harry Potter. I love fantasy, and if it's done right, definitely can appreciate it. But there's certain books that I would want to read that are real world issues. Like this one book that I just recently picked up, it's called The Hate List. And if you guys haven't heard about it, I'll give you a little quick overview. It's about this boy who decides that he wants to shoot up his school, and he kills a couple kids and he injures a couple kids, and they're trying to figure out whether or not it was like a crime that was committed with his girlfriend or if it was just him alone. So those kind of issues I definitely like reading about, real world issues. Those and like drug and alcohol or rape issues or eating disorders, depression, those kind of real world issues I like reading about. And then, you know, I like my fantasy books as well. Harry Potter or Twilight? Really? Like, why is this even on here? Harry Potter. Come on. Kindle, iPad, or other? I don't have a Kindle. I don't have an iPad. I don't have a Nook or any of that. But if I were to pick some sort of e-reader, I would definitely pick a Nook. And that's only because, you know, I love Barnes & Noble. I've been going there forever. And I have a Barnes & Noble membership, so I'd lean more towards the Nook. But I also like the Kindle, so the Nook would be first and then the Kindle would be second. And yeah. Borrow or buy? if you guys saw my last video, you definitely know that I would rather buy my own books than borrow them. I like adding them to my library collection, and yeah, I would hate to have to borrow a book from the library or a friend and then really like it and then have to return it. That would suck. Bookstore or online? Definitely bookstore. I enjoy going to the bookstore and walking around and checking out all the books that they have, and I like doing that. I've always done that. It's something that I've done for years and I still enjoy it to this day. So I definitely would rather go to the bookstore and hang out than do it online. I would only buy books online if I couldn't find them at the bookstore or if they were cheaper at the bookstore. So definitely bookstore. Tell Me One Time or Total Trilogy. This is kind of tricky because if I read a book and it's really good and I really like it, I would want to read more about it. Like for example, the Harry Potter series or the Hunger Games series, those were really good books and you just want to keep reading about them. But if it's the kind of book that just is boring and you're not really all that interested in, you're not going to want to read about it in 5 books. You want to read it one time and you want to be done with it because you didn't really like it. So I guess it all depends on the kind of book it is. Monster read or short and sweet? This kind of also has to do with the last question, I think. If I really like a book, then I don't care if it's a monstrous book. I wouldn't care because I'd be enjoying it and I'd be reading it. So you could hand me an encyclopedia and tell me this is Harry Potter and I'd read it and I'd be fine with it. But if it's a book that I don't really like or I'm not very interested in, I'm only going to want to read a small book for it because I'm not going to like it. I'm probably not even going to finish it if that's the case. Starry-eyed romance or full of action? I don't really like romance books. Very little romance, if that. So I would rather, I prefer action books. I don't like romance. So, curl up in your snuggie or bathe in the sun. Really? I'm from Miami. I mean, I love the beach. I eat, drink, sleep. It's the beach, So if I could choose the beach or being at home, I would definitely choose going to the beach and laying out in the sun over and over again as opposed to being at home and reading a book on the couch. Like, there's no other way. The only other time that I would ever want to be at home curled up in the couch with a blanket would be if it was wintertime or if I was still living in Denver or something. Then yeah, I would want to be at home. But in Miami, it's like 90 degrees all year round, so it's like you're always at the beach. Hot chocolate or latte? Definitely lattes. I love Starbucks. I used to work at a Starbucks, so I love their lattes. Hot chocolates I kind of find are a little bit too sweet for me. So I definitely prefer a latte. My personal favorite lattes are this is like my mixture thing that I kind of put together when I was working at Starbucks. I kind of mess around with a lot of different drinks, and this is the one that I came up with that I really like, and it's a hazelnut white mocha. It's amazing. Like, if you guys love white mocha and you want a little bit more sweetness but not too much, you should definitely try hazelnut white mocha because they're awesome. Read the review or decide for yourself? This is kind of tricky too, because if I find a book that I'm not too sure about, that I don't know if I'm gonna like, I'm gonna want to read the reviews about it just to see if I might like it and see if I would actually want to read it. But if it's a book that has mixed reviews and people are kind of like, yeah, I like it, or no, I didn't really like it, it was horrible, then I'm gonna have to decide for myself. And so I guess that would be 50-50. So this is the tag that I did for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun and really quirky and cute, and I kind of like these tags, they're really cool. So if you guys know of any tags, send them my way, or if you guys want to do this tag, make sure to link it below or leave it as a video response. I will put the questions in the description bar just so you guys don't have to sit there and like write them down, because I know I hate having to do that. So I'll just put them in the description bar below so you guys can copy and paste them and do one for yourselves. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!